Let's get into this Kathy Griffin tea. So Kathy Griffin is speaking out on where she stands with Andy Cohen and Anderson Cooper. Because remember, back when she did the whole headless Trump situation and Andy Cohen and Anderson Cooper decided to kind of distance themselves away from her, she started getting blacklisted from the industry and a whole bunch of other stuff. But she thought they was fake. And then here come Andy taking her job over there down at the CNN. Which is probably good because CNN is trash any damn way at this point. So, um, I was like, hold on. So yeah, let's I was like, where did I put oh yeah, I was like, where did I put the picture? I got it. I forgot where I put it or what I put it under. So yeah, let's get into this tea. So shout out, I guess, the queer tea for this story. So she said they said on pressuring Andy and Anderson to speak up about Trump's dystopian immigration tactics in Minnesota. Oh, I think what it was. Oh yeah, I remember this because this is the first time I'm looking at this. Remember, there was around the whole situation that happened with Don Lemon. Um, there was a whole situation that happened with Don Lemon and going down to Minnesota and all that other stuff. And she was like, you know what? With everything going on, how come Anderson Cooper, who has prided himself on being in the trenches of what's going on politically, how come all of a sudden you've been radio silent when it comes to what this regime is currently doing, especially to the people in Minnesota? And for people who think that ICE left, no, they're still there doing a bullshit. It's just the media stopped covering it. So she said it worked. I guilted them and I shamed them, and they both can't stand me. But I couldn't help it. I said, I'll put our beef aside. And Anderson, you have to go to Minnesota. We need famous faces there. And by the way, then his thunder was stolen by Don Lemon, who I've been corresponding with. And then I said to Andy, I know you do a silly show. Watch what happens live, but take a minute. And then he did. She said, well, this ain't gonna happen. She said, I would like to see Jimmy Fallon get political, and he's not. That's the place where it kind of felt safe. And I would have liked Stephen Colbert to push back on CBS Paramount more the way Jimmy Kimmel did. Yeah, Jimmy Kimmel don't give a good goddamn. He's like, I'm going in. And I think that's why, I mean, I don't particularly like Jimmy Kimmel's show. I am pissed at you, Jimmy, because you did that whole recent thing with Gavin Newsom and gave some little award or whatever. I was like, that was your misstep. But I like all the stuff that you've been doing as a way going in on Trump. That's been funny. Stephen Colbert, I would definitely like him to push back more because you about to lose your job. So it's like I would have taken more of the other guy's approach. I ain't got nothing to lose, and I'm gonna just go in and drag this heifer until y'all kick me off the set. And don't expect Jimmy Fallon to go in and be be confrontational because Jimmy Fallon he's a horrible interviewer. And his show is horrible. And he's not someone who takes risks. So, especially with us watching his show or like the clips I've seen, he's so annoying when he interviews these celebrities. It was a lot for me to sit through his interview with Nev Campbell when he was talking about Scream. I couldn't get it was a struggle. But it's also like depending on people when he has he also had Connor Story on. I was trying to watch that one. He's so insufferable as a host. I can't. He's just bad. He's just horrible at hosting. But I'm gonna tell you who's really good at the host. And we're gonna get into that topic when we come up with the next topic. But she also said, but obviously Jimmy is the winner in this one because he sat down with top Disney executives, Bob Iger and Dana Walden, and just looked them right in the face and said, no, I'm not gonna stop making fun of Trump, and you'll have to take me off the air. And then Trump got him off the air for something like 3 nights, and the backlash was so enormous that even Bob Iger said, okay, we'll let you do whatever you want about Trump. And that's what you have to do. When you give that man an inch, he'll take a mile, and it never ends. So when you stand up against the bully, when you stand up against fascism, they have no choice but to, you know, concede and bend the knee and go along with it. So you can sit up there and call somebody untalented and this, that, and the other, but people are loving the fact that Jimmy Kimmel's being a rebel going up against, this wannabe fascist regime. So she went on to say, so I think Jimmy Kimmel is really leading the way. And right now, the way we got him back on the air is the most successful of our moves as lefties. People wrote in and wrote old fashioned letters and emailed ABC and Disney. I wish more celebrities would have that level of balls. And yeah, I agree with that because um, I totally agree with her. Wait, hold on. Don't tell me this whole time while I'm sitting there reading her situation, that she posted this on Instagram. I'm like, I could have just played the damn clip. But hold on, I think this is the one prior to where she went in on Andy Cohen. Let me pull it up for y'all, and then y'all can watch this clip. And I said this might be just as entertaining. I don't think it's the same one, but hold on. Yeah, we'll get into it. Hold on, please hold.
I am putting aside my beef with Andy Cohen and Anderson Cooper is because I want you guys to recognize that you have a much larger microphone and platform than little D-lister Kathy Griffin. And Anderson, why aren't you on the ground? Why aren't you in Minnesota, boots on the ground, being the reporter that I knew you to be? How many times did we hang out and you had just come back from Pakistan, or you had come back from the Arab Spring uprising and you were covering it? Just have to call out you and all the other anchors that are sitting in their studios safe and sound when you guys should be on the ground in all parts of Minnesota. We need your handsome face out there, boots on the ground, talking to real live people that are protesters. If people see you talking to those people, Anderson, they're going to believe it because we know you and we trust you. The reason I am putting aside my beef with Andy Cohen and Anderson Cooper is because
Okay. So that's pretty much what she said, and I'm here for her on this. But then I came across this thing because I was like, let me play that clip while I bring up this other article. So speaking of Rob Shutter, what we was talking about earlier, he came out with this story regarding Don Lemon apparently gloating over the fact that Anderson Cooper is facing CNN's uncertainty. Because remember, um Anderson Cooper left CBS because of the whole situation that's going on, the whole takeover, and now Anderson Cooper's at CNN, and now the same people, the Ellisons, and they talking about Barry Weiss is also going to be taking over CNN once they get their hands on it, and she's going to ruin it like she's doing CBS. But funny enough, CNN's already ruining its reputation with all the bullshit and propaganda they already post on there, and not just with Scott Jennings, it's just the propaganda in general from a lot of them over there. So here's the article. So it says, is Don Lemon savoring the moment as longtime rival Anderson Cooper faces fresh uncertainty at CNN, with merger chatter swirling around parent company Warner Brothers Discovery and ongoing industry shakeups rattling the newsroom? Insiders say old tensions are bubbling back to the surface, saying Don absolutely feels vindicated. One media insider tells Rob, saying he thinks the culture that pushed him out is finally being exposed. While, of course, Anderson rode it till the wheels started to fall off, and it's still riding. He's holding on for dear life. Now, Don Lemon's 2023 exit followed months of public controversy and behind the scenes friction. While both he and Anderson publicly insisted there was no personal feud, staffers long whispered about a distinctly frosty dynamic between the two primetime stars, saying Anderson always saw himself as the gold standard. There was a quiet hierarchy, and Don knew exactly where he stood in it. Now, as CNN navigates internal anxiety over potential leadership changes and strategic pivots, some insiders say Cooper's once untouchable status no longer feels quite as solid, saying nobody is safe in a merger, not even Anderson. When new executives come in, loyalties shift fast. Absolutely, because these are new people. Y'all are under new management, and when you're under new management, these people these people don't really know you and what you're about. And if they have a certain agenda that they're pushing, that's where they're going to go. And they're going to put people that align with whatever their goal is for that particular studio. So they also went on to say that Lemon insists they said, well, according to sources, they said that Don is watching closely, saying, let's just say that Don cannot get enough of Anderson working for a friend of Trump. There's a sense that karma has a long memory. Cooper, who maintains a high profile both on air and socially, has not addressed speculation about his future. A veteran network insider offers this blunt assessment, saying in television news, today's star could be tomorrow's restructuring casualty. Don learned that the hard way. Anderson may be learning it now. And here's the thing. Don Lemon, whether you agree with how he comes across politically or not, The smartest thing he did was get fired. He got his little $25 million severance pay, took his ass over to YouTube, launched his channel, and is very successful being an independent newscaster, a news reporter. Same thing with Joy Reid. The best thing she did was leave MSNBC. I am not calling it that other damn channel. MSNBC, and is now independent on YouTube. Everybody coming to YouTube because they know that's where the money resides. That's where it's at. And when you already have a built-in fan base, those people that you accumulated over there on MSNBC is going to come over to YouTube, and plus new people where it's like, oh, now she's saying all the things that she was prohibited not to say, and now she's got the balls to actually say it because she's not controlled by a corporate overlord, which is what people like Anderson and them still want to sit up under. Which I got to realize, legacy media is on his last legs. So if you want to continue to ride an old horse until the horse collapses and keels over and dies, be my guest. But I definitely can't see Anderson Cooper annoying ass coming over to YouTube and trying to do a show and people actually giving a good goddamn what he got to say. Because to me, he's a little too performative for my take. Like I don't really feel like you have it within you to really give people the true tea on whatever screen you're gonna be in front of. You doing what them people over there telling you to do in corporate media. So that's why I feel like it's safe for you. So I say all that to say, what do you guys think of this story regarding Kathy Griffin and saying that basically I shamed them into I guilted and shamed them into submission, into coming out and doing, because of the whole situation that happened with Minnesota and Don Lemon coming out and going down to Minnesota. Now he got to deal with all these stupid legal repercussions and political theater because they're mad that he went down and do a job. But that was a witch hunt on what they're doing with Don. The whole thing, trying to file these frivolous ass lawsuits. So let me know what you guys think of this story in the comments down below.